Kind of a useless thing to do. All right. That's good. That's good. Grab that. All right. I'm just looking at something real fast. Oof. Lang blew a save, huh? Damn, no Soto, so they blew the save. That about adds up. Yo, what's up, Jacob? What's up? Yeah, till Rams versus Bills, right? I think so. It's on let's see, what is it? September 8th? Yep, September 8th. So we're at one, two, yeah, 21 days basically if you don't count today anyway. What's up, Ape? You're moving out in 9 days. Why are you moving? Just new house, new apartment, or are you just getting a new house? New apartment? Oh, that's cool. Could always be a good time. Can't wait to watch something. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for regular football to come back. All right, there we go. Got that up and moving. But yeah, how's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully, quite well. Bills beat. I don't think that's really an upset, is it? I don't think the Bills beating the Rams, even if the Rams are favored, would be an upset. I wouldn't say two Super Bowl contending teams, one of them winning would constitute what makes up an upset. If the Lions beat the Bills, that would be an upset. Be a major upset. But like two really good teams beating each other just because one team is favored and the other team wins, I wouldn't really call that an upset. It'd be like if someone's like, you know who I think a dark horse team is going to be? Who's that? The Green Bay Packers. Just because people aren't really putting them in the Super Bowl. What's up, Daniel? How's it going, man? Because people aren't putting them in the Super Bowl conversation, but someone would be like, you know, they seem like a really good dark horse. No one's really picking them. It's like, well, they're not a dark horse team. They have the back-to-back reigning MVP right now. You know what I mean? Like there are people that do stuff like that, or they'd be like the Patriots are sort of a dark horse team. They're not a dark horse. Or would you really be surprised if they were a good team this year? In all honesty, no, you wouldn't be. You know who is like a dark horse? Seattle, the Falcons. Like those are the kinds of teams you could pick, and it's like an honest like dark horse team. The Vikings, even though I don't know, I don't. Would the Vikings being good surprise anybody? You know, you always have to think if you're picking your dark horses, you have to really like stop and think like, what's up, other Daniel? How's it going? You have to stop and kind of think like, is this a dark horse pick or am I just being weird about this pick? Because like, yeah, sure, the Vikings weren't that good last year, primarily due to injuries and random things happening, but like they should be good this year. Better coach, better, just a whole better situation coming into the season. Uh, Maybe they could be a dark horse. I don't know. Maybe I don't know how everyone thinks about them. How you doing though, Daniel? But yeah, the Bills. Whoever wins in that game between the Bills and the Rams, that doesn't feel like any team winning would be an upset. Now maybe if something crazy happens between now and then, and like a major injury happens, and the Rams or Bills don't have one of their like key players, like a quarterback, then yeah, then one of them winning would be like a major upset. It would feel like. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too technical and like hung up on like technicality and words, and I don't know. I just always like thinking about stuff like that. Like, well, what actually is a dark horse and what is an upset? And you guys can offer countering opinions. You could be like, well, whoever is favored and who doesn't, and if the other team wins, that's an upset. That's how that works. I'd be like, yeah, that's a solid argument. Because by the letter of the law, that is an upset. But, like, is it a real upset like we actually think of the term? Or is it like an upset like, you know, just by, like, technicality? Yeah, you see Joe Burrow's practicing again after he had his appendicitis. That's a major, I would say that's a major step. Sounds like he's going to be ready to go by week 1, be fully good and good. Matthew Stafford is ready to go with his elbow tendonitis issue. These are just kind of like rough issues. Like, these are the short clips of the news where there's really not much to go into because it's like, well, that's good that Burrow's recovering. Hopefully he's ready to go by the season start. Stafford, same situation. They're not. It's like not serious, but it's also like not unserious what's going on for him. We could talk about the Panthers and the Patriots, what happened there really quickly. So the Panthers and the Patriots have been in straight brawl mode the entire organized camp together for whatever reason, and it's been quite fun to watch, really. Oh, damn, everybody left. Down to 3 people. Where'd everybody go? Guess no one wants to talk football tonight. I always find that crazy. But if I would have did a baseball stream today, you know what would have happened? The entire audience would come in and talk about football. It would have been crazy. Damn, everyone's gone. I think, Daniel, I think you and me are the only ones left in this stream, to be honest. Yeah, I think we are. I don't think anyone else is still here. I don't even know who I'm doing a show for right now. What's up, Cheeto? You just tune in? Yeah, I should probably just like take away a bunch of people's mods and be like, well, that's what you get. Show up to the streams. But yeah, we'll give it a few more minutes, see if anyone wants to show up. Yeah, tomorrow should be good. Should be some good action. Been a chippy couple practices. The Lions and the Colts were getting into fights. The Patriots and Panthers, like we were talking about just a second ago, the Panthers and the Patriots have been fighting. The Lions and the Colts are fighting. Just in general, lots and lots of craziness going on at training camp this week as the teams are starting joint practices, which is kind of a dumb thing. I'll be honest. I understand why they might be helpful, but I don't. If I was a player, I'd hate this shit. I'd be like, man, this feels stupid. Why are we doing this? Like, why are they getting to hear our like intimate plays and see our practice plays? And like, why are we doing this? I would be adamant. I'd be like, nah, I don't want to do this. If I could wiggle my way out of a joint practice, well, because they're okay. So here's the reason the Patriots and the Panthers got into a fight again today. Some guys have weird problems with other guys for no particular reason. Take Kenny Robinson of the Carolina Panthers. For some reason, he does not like Christian Wilkerson. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if Wilkerson might have said something to him in the last couple days. I don't know if maybe there was a drill ran and somebody he hit him funny or something. But Robinson the last 2 days has been trying to murder Wilkerson. And today he pretty much succeeded in doing so. It was a half-speed drill that the Patriots and Panthers were running for special teams. Everybody was going literally half speed except for this dumbass Kenny Robinson. He fucking bull flies down the field, barrels into fucking Wilkerson. I'm talking like he's expecting like half speed hitting, but he got hit at full speed. He goes down and gets knocked out immediately. So he's very obviously hurt. And then Robinson decides, yeah, it's a good idea to stand over the guy and taunt and celebrate his injury. So that caused a massive fight. I'm talking guys like Matthew Slater came flying out, swinging at people. What's up, Phil? It's going good, man. How's your day been? Just guys going all over. Like the most calm guys on the Patriots were all freaking the fuck out. You had coaches. The special teams coach went out to try to fight one of the players. He went after Kenny Robinson. Like they were trying to beat this guy up. Basically because this guy's a giant cocksucker and is out here fucking trying to kill people during like half-speed punting drills. Like, dude, you're not going to, like, if you're a bubble player and you're doing shit like that, that's actually what you get cut by. Like, especially when your coach says this, that your head coach is getting very frustrated with all the fighting, and it was directly because of Kenny Robinson being an asshole. By the way, the hit wasn't dirty, but you know what happens when you hit somebody at full speed and they're playing half speed? You fucking can, like, really hurt them. I think he's still at the hospital getting evaluated for a brain injury. So, yeah, that's what he was celebrating, that Kenny Robinson, a guy getting a severe brain injury. Pretty crazy, right? And that's why the Patriots and the Panthers have been fighting at practice, because the Panthers have been doing this all fucking practice for some reason. I think they're very upset that we beat them last year, and like I really don't know. Like, Wilkerson had nothing to do with that game where we won. I don't even think he was on the roster for that game. Like, Mac Jones has gone untouched. Well, you can't touch quarterbacks. I'm pretty sure you'd just be suspended. I don't think that'd be a good idea to start trading blows on quarterbacks. I think that would quickly destabilize things. Now, looking at the Lions and Colts, I think it just got chippy between them just because it tends to happen. A guy gets pushed and he's already in kind of a bad mood, so he shoves back and then a fucking fight happened. I think that's what happened with the Lions. Guys were just in bad moods. Lions were getting kind of dog-walked by the Colts all practice, and I think they got in their feelings about it. The Lions did, and they started fucking getting really chippy. And I think that's why they started fighting. But, like, you know, it's just guys, there's a lot on the line in a lot of these training camps, you know. A lot of, you know, some do, like young guys, like they kind of have to come in with this kind of aggression, this kind of raw attitude towards the whole situation, or else they could get cut. They don't really know if they're going to make the team. So they're doing all they can to try to make the team, including being kind of chippy and aggressive. And, you know, some veterans don't like that. Maybe some other guys, you know, some other young guys trying to make the team have to fucking match that. And then two fucking aggressive people go at it, and then a huge fight breaks out. That's generally probably what's happened in a lot of these cases, I would assume. It's just, you know, fucking emotions run high. Playing some Apex, oh, that's fun. Damn, this stream is moving very slowly. I'm gonna see if putting out I don't know if notifications got sent. I'm guessing not. There's like nobody here. I'm hoping some people come in. This is not a very there's like no one here and nobody's chatting. It's very boring. It's like, well, I guess I could just run through the news really, really fast and dip out. It'd take me about 10 minutes. Yeah, they should be all right. Should be better than last year, right? With actual coaching. Instead of like whatever the hell they trotted out there last year, whatever the tech coach was, Zimmer. They have a great roster. I don't really know what the weakness of the roster is. If you could point that out to me, that'd be great. Like, what is the Vikings' actual weakness? That's my major question to everybody. Who's like, do you expect them to be good? Well, what makes them a bad team? Kirk Cousins? Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Adding Patrick Peterson, he's not that old. They're not doing good on offense. They scored 21 points with backups. That's pretty good, right? Against the defense that was blitzing every single play when we weren't expecting the Giants to be blitzing every play. I don't know. We did pretty good. We scored 21 points off their starters and their second string unit with our backups. We didn't play our starters a little bit. And our backups came through and ran the offense very smooth with no issues. So when I think about what the starting unit actually looks like, I would imagine probably really good. Now, why isn't it not ever viewed as the flip side? Sims, I'm not trying to attack you or come at you. I'm just saying, like, when you hear of an offense struggling in training camp, everybody tends to go with the most extreme notion that the offense is going to be bad. This has happened with Tom Brady several times. Not many people follow, for some reason, the Patriots or like didn't when Brady was there. Do you know how many bad training camps Tom Brady's had because of how good the Patriots defense turned out to be that year? A lot. It was very common to see Brady throwing picks, incomplete passes. The offense looked like it was dead and struggling. I heard about this, trust me, a lot during the Tom Brady era. The offense is finally dead. It's been a thing, right? And every year, that's when the Patriots have a pretty solid offense, but then their defense is like top 3. Like, maybe it's just one of them situations where their defense is going to be really, really good. That could be the case. Like, no one ever, like, for every team, too, it's like this. It seems like we never assume that maybe they got a really good defense on the other side of that field that they're going against. And I know it's slated for the offense to always do better in these kind of camp stuff, but it's also like it's not impossible to think that, like, the offensive struggles are largely because it's a brand new offense off a new offensive coordinator. So the offense would eventually grow into the offense and start to understand it. You've seen eventually Devontae Parker make comments this week, for example, that now that everybody's starting to understand the offense and kind of clicking into it, everything is way faster. Everybody's getting wide open. If you look and pay attention, the talks of massive struggles have fallen off, and now it's becoming shit like we're fighting in practice. It's just, for example, like Nelson Aguilar made a catch over 3 defenders today in the back of the end zone, over 3 Panthers defenders anyway, J.C. Horn and a couple other people. So I look at something like that and I go, that doesn't seem like an offense that's struggling to me. It seems more or less like they got it figured out, and as camp progresses and as they get further and further inoculated into the Belichick, not McDaniels offense, they're going to be better and better, because one of the things that the Belichick offense offers is a quick open scheme where the receivers put a lot of emphasis on deception and movement at the initial hike of the ball. So that way they can get open, because one of the things I don't think McDaniels emphasizes is that deception and movement at the line, which is why you see the Patriots always kind of lag behind in getting open, creating separation, which is one of the things we struggled with mightily last year. And that offense isn't built this way. It's built around deception and getting wide open very quickly and quickly getting the ball out. So, I don't know. Our offense is going to be a lot different when everything actually gets going. They're cursed, haven't done anything since 77, and even the Vikings are 100% cursed, Robert. But I think they'll be much better than they were last year. Is my major point. Like, basically, my point is like, well, I wouldn't consider them, if they had a good season, I wouldn't be like, whoa, the Vikings are really good now. I wouldn't say, like, I wouldn't be shocked. You know what I mean? Like, they're like a dark horse situation. Like, are they one of the teams that you'd be like, holy shit, did I not see that coming? No, I mean, if they have a good year, you'd be like, all right, they'll probably lose in the playoffs like usual. But I wouldn't be shocked if they were a good team this year. Especially since they got like a competent coach now who's like in this era. Like, Mike Zimmer's a good coach, right? Like, I think so. But like, he was better for an NFL 10 years ago. The game passed him by. The same thing kind of happened to Rex Ryan and a lot of like these other older coaches. Kirk, yeah. I mean, he's all right. He wasn't the reason they were losing games last year, though. Let me tell you. You know the Vikings? Here's a fun stat about the Minnesota Vikings. And I don't know why this is. It's a very salient point. You would think it's Kirk Cousins costing them these games when that couldn't be furthest from the truth. There's no updates on Watson. He said he'd take 8 games willingly. He said he'd take 8 games if the NFL wants to meet him halfway. I don't know. We'll see what happens. He's offered 8, but the NFL is sticking to a season, I'm guessing. So I don't know what they're gonna do. But anyway, do you know that the Vikings, through the first 14 games of the regular season last year, could have been 13-1 had they not allowed points in the last 2 minutes of the quarters? And it's literally like at the end of half and at the end of the game, if they didn't allow the 7 points they almost always allowed, they would have went 13-1. So like, you look at the way that they finished and you're like, wow, that was a bad season for them. It's like, well, it's very, very deceptive. It would have been a really good season had they had slightly better coaching, I think. Because like it's like, whoa, I didn't know it was that. It's like the Patriots. Did you know that like 3 of their losses were by a combined 6 points? You also have to you have to look at the losses and like figure out what happened in those losses. The Patriots could have went 14-3 last year if 6 points in 3 games went differently. I mean, those guys were getting old, man. Barr's old, Kendricks is old, and Harrison Smith is really old. You're talking about them having an old defense, but man, those guys are old. Like those guys were all playing when I was still like in like undergrad. That's really old, man. Those are old dudes. Didn't Barr get drafted in 2012? Rangers could have been in the wild card race if they didn't have one of those. Yeah, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like it's like when you look at, you have to always remember when you look at your team's season in review, look at the losses first and see what the losses tell you about how close your team actually is to being good. For example, the Lions, I don't know how many one score games they lost, but like what, they could have had 6 games, 7 wins last year if those one score games go slightly more in their way. Like it gets to be dramatic when you go look how many one score games you were in. I think all but like 2 of the Patriots' losses were by 1 score or less. Oftentimes it was like 2 points. Like they'd lose by a point, like a game-winning field goal would fuck them over. Like they'd missed a field goal. Like it's something like it was so obviously that there was a young football team for the like I don't know. Everyone's telling me that they shouldn't have been as good as they were last year, but it's like arguably they should have been and probably were better than what they actually were should have been last year. But you know. Hey, by the way, thank you guys for the 13 likes. I appreciate that. Very cool, very kind. I don't know. What are your guys' dark? Do you guys got dark horse teams? Do you, like teams you're like look out for these motherfuckers? The Dolphins. I would. You know how I feel about the Dolphins? Would I be surprised if they were a good team? Not at all. Do I expect them to be a good team? Nope. I think they're going to finish in 3rd and miss the playoffs again this year. But I don't think the Patriots are going to make the playoffs this year, if I'm being honest. If you don't outright win your division this year, it's either 2 teams from the North or the whole West is making the playoffs. I don't see how a 10 or 11 wins is going to make the playoffs this year. I'm talking you got to probably get 12 if you want to be a wild card team. Just looking around the AFC, you have 12 to 13 teams that are legitimate playoff teams. Like actually like good, ready to go. All these teams are good to go into the playoffs. You have 3 AFC East teams. Every team in the AFC North could be a playoff team. Every team in the AFC West could be a playoff team. The only team that you look at in that entire, and then you look at the AFC South, you got the Colts and you got the Titans. And then this is the only teams that I don't think are playoff teams. The Jets, Texans, and Jaguars. I don't think. Can you name me 3 other teams in the AFC that are not 100 like questionable playoff teams? Like, would you be surprised if any of those 3 teams? But like, isn't that crazy to think about? Like, it's that that set right now in football. I would say for the AFC, that's a crazy level of parity. That's so good for the league when you have all but 3 teams in a conference. These could all be playoff teams. 13 out of 16 teams in a conference. That's 13 out of 16 teams are actual playoff teams. And really, the AFC East is getting crazy too. Think about the AFC East. All of a sudden, you have 3 legitimate playoff teams in the AFC East in the Patriots, Dolphins, and Bills. You have a Super Bowl contender in the Bills. Like, that's pretty fucking crazy too. You only got 1 bad team in the Jets. And if the Jets are good this year, which, I mean, with everything that they've put into that roster, they could actually be good too. You really only got 2 dumpster fires left. I don't know about the Jets. They could be pretty bad, actually. Their schedule is fucking brutal. Have you guys seen the Jets' schedule? Oh, goodness gracious. Dude, they could go 0-7, and it's not even being mean. Like, they literally could lose all 7 games to start. Like, literally, their first win doesn't really come until the 8th game of the season, potentially. Yeah, the Bengals were the greatest dark horse team I've ever seen. Like, that is a dark horse. A team nobody's seen coming, going and doing that. That's what I consider as like a dark horse. Oh yeah, the NFL is probably brutal to get. I would not touch the AFC this year until like week 4. I'd be like, all right, I'm pretty sure this is how this is gonna go. And then all of a sudden, all the good teams just click on and start going. It's like, fuck. Yeah, no, the AFC is brutal. NFC is a little easier, right? You have probably what, like, I don't know in the NFC North. I think the NFC North, there's no clear, like, I guess you can go with Packers are probably a playoff team out of that one. Then you got 3 question mark teams. I'd throw the Vikings should be a good team. Like, they're far too talented to not be a good team. You know what? You know what though, Cheeto? Me too. Like, it was one of those things where like everybody like kind of had like a. I think we actually did, Cheeto, put them in our. I'm fairly certain we had them as like dark horses, like as like a maybe. I don't think anyone had. I think we had them as like wild card maybes. Is how we looked at them, as like maybe they can make the playoffs and kind of fuck shit up, you know, kind of like disrupt how things are going and make things a little weird. I said don't be surprised. I think that's as far as I went with that. But I was pleasantly surprised by the yeah, Orioles are a dark horse team, 100%. The Guardians are a dark horse team. All those teams are. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, why wouldn't he? He won an MVP. He's the only thing keeping that Ravens team from being a 6-win football team next year. Okay, I have to present to you a theory. How many wins do you think the Baltimore Ravens get in the last 4 seasons without Lamar Jackson on that team? Really think about this. Do you think that they're a good football team? Do you think that they're competent? Do you think they're winning as much as they win with him on the field? Think how garbage that fucking team is, and think about how good they appear. On offense, what the fuck is on that team other than Lamar Jackson and the tight end? It's him and that fucking tight end, and everybody else is hot garbage. I mean, it's hard to fight me on that. You know, they don't like they got Tucker, Lamar, and the kicker or in the tight end. It's a 1-4. That's bad, dude. Like they only win a quarter of the games without him. Dude, that's like that's not good. Like they win 10 games, that means they're only gonna win like 4. I can raise you on that and say, I mean, he's led the league in passing. I mean, at least passing touchdowns one year. I don't know. Like Lamar's a good quarterback, though. I mean, like, what are you trying to like? What stat is bad for him? I'm pretty sure his accuracy is pretty good for a running quarterback. Like, why does it matter that he runs? He's also a very good passer. He's finally, I mean, minus his rookie year because he was still throwing from that fucking ridiculous fucking like half underarm angle that he was. Now that he's throwing more upward, I don't know. He's pretty solid, dude. If the Ravens could get some real receivers, that'd be very helpful. Like Rashad Bateman's a good start, but it's like, well, you got 2 guys for him to throw the ball to now that can actually fucking catch it. Like, he's not a magician. He can't throw, catch, and run the football. He's a proficient passer, sure. He's a better passer than fucking a lot of quarterbacks in the league. He's a better passer than Zach Wilson. He's a better passer than the fucking any quarterback on the Falcons right now. He's a better passer anyway than Jimmy Garoppolo. He's a better like, you know, like why don't you like like is he? I would say he's got a great arm. See, like I would say Justin Herbert's a great passer. I wouldn't say very good. Very good is for people like Lamar who can throw it very good. It's not great. I would say Justin Herbert's in the great category, wouldn't you, in terms of arm talent? I'd put very good at like Russell. No, not even Russell. Russell's way too accurate. Like I don't know. Yeah, like that's I'm saying Lamar's a good passer. Like he's got some room to improve, and he even says that he's working on becoming a better passer each season. That's one of the things I love about Lamar Jackson is he knows he's trying to become more of a passing quarterback. He understands that longevity wise, he can't do what he's doing long term, and he's slowly working toward that. But while he still has the ability to take advantage of his speed, it's probably a good idea to use it, right? Yeah, I don't understand the whole thing that he's not a good passer. It's really silly. Like, he has bad receivers, dude. Do you know that, like, I don't know how often his receivers lead the league in drops, but I would imagine that the Baltimore Ravens are way the fuck up there in terms of receiver drops since he's been there. Hollywood Brown dropped everything. All that fucking guy did was drop footballs. They'd hit that dude right in the hands, and it'd just be like, bloop. You might go to a Mexican restaurant. Ooh, which one? A little bit of Mexican-American cuisine is always good. Yeah, that sucks. I feel kind of bad for Eagles fans. I mean, I don't know. Hurts could turn it around. Derek Carr is also a very good passer. I wouldn't say he's great, but his numbers are always very solid. He's not the reason they've been a bad team. Now they got him a really good receiver. I don't know. They got him a really good receiver in Henry Ruggs, and we see how that turned out. Great idea. So far, it's been like 1 year in the NFL in Vegas, or what is it, 2 years in Vegas, and we've already got one person dead from an NFL player. That's not a good ratio. I thought it would take like at least a couple seasons before we had some shit like this. Like, you got to think about it. NFL goes to Vegas, and within 2 years, there's a fiery car crash at like almost several hundred miles an hour. I'm like, whew. Yeah, Fields dude, there is Justin Fields, I feel miserable for. There is no quarterback on this earth that I actually don't think has it worse than Mr. Justin Fields. And I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who has it worse. They did nothing to help that guy. They went, yeah, we're just not doing anything about that. Literally, that was their solution with Justin Fields. They went, we don't know. Like, can you guys go get him a receiver? No, we actually traded away his best receiving options and just got rid of them. What about offensive line? Don't know what that is. What? Yeah, that seems like a fake thing that just isn't real. No, but like, you guys have got a way to protect well, we got a running quarterback for a reason. Ravens almost lost to the Lions was because Hollywood Brown dropped touchdown passes, Justin Tucker in a missed delay game. Yeah, the missed delay game saved them from the win. But yeah, Hollywood Brown was the reason the Lions almost won that game. But Bateman should be quite the improvement for Lamar. We'll see how that develops. If I'm Lamar, though, by the way, that was a good lead-in. I really thank you for that question, my friend, about Lamar deserving that. What's up, that one guy? About does he deserve it? Because I want to talk about it. Lamar is not playing again this weekend. And Justin Tucker just got paid. Something tells me Lamar is Aiden Hutchinson. When do we play the Giants? Do the Lions and Giants play each other? I mean, he could take him out if you need him to. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know, man. I think Tyrod Taylor is going to win that fucking job. He came in against the same defense that Daniel Jones went against, and the ones that made Daniel Jones look bad, even though he's like should be good against them, are backups. Fucking Tyrod Taylor came in and made him look like backups, like Daniel Jones should have. Daniel Jones was having the most difficult time I've ever seen, ever, with like garbage level players on the page. Like, we have good backups, we have incredible depth in New England, but like, there was zero reason Daniel Jones shouldn't have lit our asses up. And he was struggling. If it wasn't for Terrence Mitchell making one mistake, they'd have scored 0 points. Yeah, after I seen that, I'm off the Daniel Jones hype train. I've always kind of defended him as like, well, give him a chance, but now it's like, oh, dude, no, Tyrod Taylor came in there and was just gliding down the fucking field. Like literally, it was just. If he would have been with starters, he'd have literally murdered. Like, what's up, Andre? Um, Aiden Hutchinson, he's a lot like the Watts. He plays more like the Watts, I would say. And it's not. He literally just looks like an extended family member of TJ and. I mean, look. I mean, have you guys seen Aiden Hutchinson? He literally looks like he's in the family line of the Watts. That's why I like to compare him to the Watts, because he literally looks like he's like the cousin of TJ Watt or something. It's funny. They all have like the same, like the weird shade of blonde hair. They all do like a weird like signature sack move, and very similar play styles. I don't mind a QB who can take off if need be, but for my money, I'm taking the guy who can consistently hurt you downfield. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, I mean that's fair for what you want. But like, if Lamar was to take less than, because I'm guessing he wants around 200 million or 190 million, but fully guaranteed. And that's probably the major holdup. I don't know what the holdup is. Is it total money? Does he want to get paid exactly like Deshaun did, or does he want to get paid kind of like some other quarterback just got paid? Who the fuck was that? Was that Josh Allen? No, it wasn't. Not yet. Who was it? Oh my God, why am I blanking? Somebody else just got a contract like Deshaun, but it was just like slightly less. Or it was like 0.5 more, but it was like, oh, Kyler Murray, dude. Kyler Murray, that's right. But like, does he get a little less than, does he do a similar to Kyler at 230, but like less guaranteed money? Or does he take like 190, but all fully guaranteed? Like, it's like, well, what are they, what's the hang up? What we don't. Yeah, that's fair enough. People actually think Jones looked good. Even if he did look good, he was playing against, yeah, exactly. He didn't look perfect. He should have looked perfect against the backups, and he didn't. He struggled at times. Wonder if Desmond Ridder will start. Yeah, Ridder played really good against the Lions, but again, I think they'll start Mariota to start the season out, and then Ridder will take the job. Only Pistons fans like Andre Drummond. It was really weird. Kyler Murray will study the film. Yeah, that's what it was. Dude, navigate the field with a running QB. No way I got paid a runner $200 million. Yeah, I mean, it's a bad idea, but it's also like the league's evolved to running quarterbacks. So, I mean, we'll see. I understand like there's the reason the Ravens are kind of held up about doing it. They're not a stupid franchise, so I'll never it's hard to question them on this move, right? It would feel weird because they don't really make mistakes in Baltimore. If they move on from Lamar, is that a bad thing? Well, I don't know. I have a feeling they move on. Like, I genuinely don't think they're going to pay that. Like, I've always felt in my heart of hearts, Baltimore's like, we don't pay quarterbacks here. See ya. What? Yeah, we don't care. We'll just get a new quarterback. What the fuck do we care? We've never paid one, and we never will. We didn't do it when we were the Browns, and we're sure the fuck not going to do it as the Baltimore Ravens. They could just go get whoever the hell they want. They got money. They're not paying a quarterback right now. And Lamar would have plenty of suitors. Miami is the number one immediate thought. Just waiting for Bryce Young or Will Levis. How do I say that? It's probably Levi's or something. And see, yeah, Stroud and Young seem like they're going to be pretty solid. I would go with Young before I went CJ though. Even though Carr lost drugs, he has a new. Yeah, I was going to say Devontae Adams is there now. Who do you think is the absolute worst team right now? Jets without Zach. The Bears. I'm sorry, Chicago fans, and I don't mean to offend you guys, but like, yeah, I don't think a running quarterback outside of Russell Wilson's ever won a Super Bowl, unless you count like Steve Young as a running quarterback. Getting Bryce Young, maybe. Houston, I think Houston will be a lot better than. I don't think Houston's one of the worst teams in the league this year. They're actually building up a decent little football team. I think they're getting close. They're a lot better than they were 2 years ago. That's all I have to say about Houston. Like, if you go in there and your team like underestimates playing them, they could actually get upset pretty fucking quick by the Texans. If Houston wins is better, like the Houston reminds me, like they're in a good, like they're rebuilding properly. They're doing a pretty good job. Okay, fair enough. Records, fair enough. It's kind of like Mahomes and a lot of like the more modern quarterbacks can all kind of run if they need to, but they don't do it. Like even Mac Jones is technically like I know it's a silly thing to say, but like Mac Jones has a faster 40 time than Patrick Mahomes. I'm pretty sure. Like I think all modern quarterbacks can run, but they don't. Like it's like well yeah, I mean even Matthew Stafford can boogie if he needs to. like it's more rare to see just a pure pocket guy anymore. Like it's like yeah, Lamar, we get you can like run like that, but we really I can see what the argument is. Even Kyler Murray could take off more, and he's more of a pot. He's turning it. He's quickly becoming a more passing. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Russell Wilson was a guy who won a Super Bowl as a running quarterback because when he was playing, he was a runner. Oh yeah, 100% records. Yeah, you're not going to find a disagreement with me here. I tell people all the time. Name the last running quarterback to win a Super Bowl. It was literally Russell Wilson when he was younger. And he really wasn't even like a pure runner. He was kind of like a hybrid running passer. Like, he was only a runner because he was very young. Like, that's how I look at that. Like, I'll excuse young quarterbacks. If they want to run around, that's fine. Fucking get the speed of the game down. Yeah, Fields is really... Dude, I like Justin Fields. Like, I think he's really good, but, like... The big issue with the Bears is they have nothing around that guy. That is a barren fucking football team. Speaking of Mac, why do people... Dude, there is nothing that brings me more joy than the number of people that are angry that coaches and fellow players, like that one guy pointed out, his peers and coaches voted Mac in at number 85. Do you know how butthurt everybody is? It's like, you guys got to understand. He took a 7-win team and put them in the playoffs. He put them on his back. No, I'm not saying Russ wasn't a good passer. I was saying he as a rookie, he ran around quite a bit. That's all. Yeah, I know. Did you like my word barren there for the Bears? I'm glad somebody caught it. But like really quickly back to the Mac thing and then I'll go over the couple things. Yeah, Big Ben too and Aaron Rodgers early in his starting careers ran a lot. But again, those guys are kind of like I would consider Russ a hybrid because he was like, yeah, like I said, he passed very well, but he ran a lot. It was weird. Kind of like Aaron did. Like Aaron would run a lot young, but like then he just stopped doing. Like he would pass it. Kind of. Aaron and Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers have like weirdly, like not weirdly similar, but like weirdly similar careers in terms of playing style. A little bit more runny, a little bit more scrambly early on, but then as they got more comfortable in the league, they've reverted to more like using their mobility as like a way to be a better passer, if that makes sense. Mahomes is doing that right now. He's learning how to utilize like being very athletic and very like really bursty quick to become a better passer. And I think that's a great thing. I think that's the way you should utilize your running ability properly in the NFL. Get the fuck away from a sack, set your feet, and bomb it down the field. That's awesome. I'm so glad we have a bunch of quarterbacks who can do that right now. And if that's what Lamar turns that into, he literally would be unstoppable. And I hope that's how he develops that. Records, you're saying that like he can't improve his arm strength though. But anyway, really quick about Mac being in the top 100. You know what the problem is? Everyone just thinks that like he shouldn't be there, and like it's media. It's like guys, it's not the media. It's the goddamn people in the league that he plays with, and the other coaches that have to coach against him. He's a good little quarterback. I'm sorry the Patriots got a good quarterback. I'm sorry to tell you. Yeah, and now to talk about his arm strength issues. Do you know he fixed that in the offseason? That's the only thing he worked on. Well, he even went and seen specialist, a guy named Tom House, who specializes in increasing throwing velocity for like athletes. He's worked with guys like Randy Johnson. He's worked with guys like Nolan Ryan. He's worked with Tom Brady. Do you know how Tom Brady had one of the things with Tom Brady very early on in his career was the fact that Tom didn't have a strong arm. It was very similar to Mac's issues. Lacked a deep drive, lacked like brutal arm strength, like exactly what you're saying. Tom had very weirdly similar issues, but he went and seen Tom House immediately after his rookie season and started building up that arm strength to get it stronger and more explosive. You can get your arm stronger by working out, fixing a few things in your mechanics. And Mac was a quick fix, according to Tom House. Brady. Do you think Brady came into the league with that arm? Would you say Brady's got a good arm? What's up, Amir? How's it going, man? Serious question. I just want to know, do you think Tom has, like, the best arm ever? Because his arm was way worse when he started. Do you know there's he couldn't throw a tight spiral when he started playing in the NFL? Yeah, you can leave with a better arm than you came in with. He doesn't need, like, dramatic improvements. If you go watch that pick against the Bills or the Colts, the one where the guy closed all that ground, if that ball was moving like 2 miles an hour faster, he doesn't do that. No, the team was winning. It had nothing to do with that records. It had nothing to do with arm strength. It was because the team hadn't lost yet, and they were unstoppable for some reason with Brady at quarterback. Had nothing to do with Tom's arm strength. If it was based on arm strength, Bledsoe would have been given back the job instantaneously. You have to understand, dude, it's literally, they've said that the only reason he didn't make the switch, it had nothing to do with talent. Bledsoe has way more arm talent than Brady. It's really not close. Brady threw a wobbly-ass spiral pass for, 4 years. And then all of us, dude, the Randy Moss year freaked people the fuck out with Brady because he went from a guy who really couldn't throw that well to, holy shit, look at this guy's arm. And really, it wasn't even that good. He was throwing it like 45 yards down the field. He just throws it really high, I think, and it looks way better. Like, I think he throws a very pretty hard pass now, and it looks really good out of the hand. But it wasn't always the case, man. It just isn't. Dude, if you're gonna tell me about Brady, it's like you're probably not gonna win this. It's literally in his draft report that he can't throw tight spirals, and that's like a true thing. Yeah, my favorite player ever. Yeah, trust me. All I'm saying is he doesn't. Dude, Peyton Manning didn't have the greatest arm strength either. Do you know that? Did you know that? Go watch some of Peyton Manning's throws. He threw an ugly motherfucking football about 50 yards downfield when it was at his best. If you think about Mahomes' arm, Matthew Stafford's arm, Aaron Rodgers' arm, one thing you never hear about is Peyton Manning had the greatest arm strength, like the greatest arm. No, he didn't. Neither does Brady. That's not a bad thing, though. They're very good and smart with the football, though. And that's something you learn about playing in the league. And that's where kind of the same trajectory Mac is heading toward is kind of where I'm getting toward. Sure, his arm isn't Josh Allen, but, like, neither was Peyton Manning or Tom Brady's. Yeah, but it was an ugly ball. Go look at some of them throws. Them are some ugly fucking football passes, man. Those were some bad throws sometimes. Cards take the series? Hell yeah, Amir. We choked the game late, the Tigers did, because they didn't bring in our actual... do you think they... I hope the Lions go get a real backup, Andre. I actually hope they do trade for Mason Rudolph, which is a major... But here's another rumor. The Lions are reportedly interested majorly in Mason Rudolph, who's now, I think, fallen to third on their depth chart. And the Lions are very interested in trading for him because Blau and Boyle both kind of suck ass. Get rid of both of them and just go get fucking Mason Rudolph, and that's our quarterbacks. That's a way better quarterback room. I know Mason isn't any better, but like Goff shouldn't not need to start all season. But that's all. I don't know. Like Matt can improve his arm strength is what I'm basically enough to where that little gap, that like 2 seconds, 2 miles an hour harder, the ball gets to the receiver, not the defender. And again, Mac worked on. We'll see if Mac made the adjustments needed for where that to be a thing, or if the Patriots just go, we'll just throw it 10 yards at a time. Who gives a fuck? I mean, if we could just do that too, though, or the window really impacted at 10 yards. Mac's a hyper-accurate quarterback himself. There's a reason they call him Yak Jones for no reason. He had a higher yards per attempt than Mahomes last year. If Mac Jones was Yak Jones, what the hell do we call Patrick Mahomes, who had a smaller, or it was like the same. It was like, what? How is this even fair? He has the same numbers as goddamn Mahomes, and everyone's like, yo, he's a check down machine. Yeah, so was Mahomes last year. Guess what? Check downs are a lot smarter than bombing it 50 yards downfield every play. Do you know what that does to your defense? It fucking gasses them out. See Buffalo averaging 4 minutes a drive with the football and then wondering why their defense just did nothing to stop the Chiefs in that overtime moment. They didn't choke. They were too fucking tired to keep up. They're like, no, we're not choking. We're just, we can't keep up as fast as can. It's like there's just no energy left. It's like, well, dude, maybe, hey, Josh Allen, hold the ball for 7 minutes. See what happens. You're good enough to not have to score in 4 minutes at a time. What kind of dumb shit was that last year? These dudes were scoring in like 3 minutes at a time. Trying to like just throw bombs down the field. And they're like, why'd we lose? I don't know, because your stupid coach doesn't know how to game plan properly. Doesn't understand that you don't need to score 50-yard touchdowns on every play to look cool. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Mac will be fine. He'll get there. Hey, man, he was a young guy last year. Let's see if the arm develops a little bit. He lost a bunch of weight, put on the right muscle. You never know. Learned how to use more of his hips in the throw, fixed the throwing mechanics a little bit, which were a little goofy at times last year. But dude, we'll see. I mean, he can make a little. I mean, if he even adds 3-4 miles an hour on his throws, that's gonna be enough to change a lot of life for him. But I mean, we'll see how he keeps going. It's kind of hard to tell early on. I feel like I missed 15 teams missed on Mac. I feel like I missed a bunch of stuff. I'm sorry if I got way too distracted in that combo, everybody. I think if Detroit would have played their starters, I think Detroit could have won if they played their starters too. Roethlisberger did a lot of running in his. Yeah, I already read that. We'll see. Again, it's not the Patriots' year this year. If the Patriots won the Super Bowl this year, you guys will never hear me stop bragging about it. I'll never shut the fuck up. Oh, dude, you know how brutal it would be? I'd lose every subscriber who wasn't a Patriots fan. Because I'd be like, man, how crazy is that? Who'd have ever seen it? Yeah, I appreciate it, underdog. Be like, man, who'd have ever seen the Patriots winning a Super Bowl with Mac Jones? We have 7 now. Meanwhile, there's Bills fans contemplating just not being here anymore. They're just like, only because it'd be funny to Bills fans. No, I wouldn't even say it would be. I feel kind of bad for Buffalo fans. You know who I'd really laugh at is the Miami Dolphins fans. They deserve some goddamn misery to hit them soon. They really think Tua Tagovailoa is going to turn into Josh Allen in his 3rd year in the NFL. And I'm not kidding. If you're a Dolphins fan, I'm not meaning to insult you. Like there's like a big half of your actual fan base that most of the ones that would be listening to me are the sensible Dolphins fans, I would assume. I don't even know how to begin to address that Tua turns into Josh Allen in Josh Allen's year 2 to year 3 jump. They think that Tua's going to have that. And it's like, you guys don't understand what Josh Allen was. Hey, what's up, Jess? How's it going? Yeah, in the AFC, we were talking earlier, there was like 13 teams that could be playoff teams with like 12 of them are like, yeah, those are playoff teams, with like one team in the South where I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen with them. I'm not 100% sold on the Titans right now. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because I just don't like Ryan Tannehill, or I'm very confused as to how they have no depth still. Tua stinks, and my Eagles fans are making the guy that got benched for him out to be Dan Marino. Who got benched for Tua? Yeah, I know. Dude, they're a cursed franchise. They went undefeated, and now they're they haven't won since. It's hilarious. It's like, well, good job. Since we lost that Super Bowl, we've won 3 more. Hurts at Bama. Oh yeah. Yeah. And then Mac Jones came in and fucking lit the whole guy. Dude, Mac Jones went crazy the year he started. It's like, so if Mac Jones would have been starting instead of Tua, they would have scored. Do you remember how brutal Mac Jones was doing college football? That dude would be out at halftime with like the fucking Bama up like. Am I remembering this right? Bama would regularly be up like 49-0 at halftime with Mac Jones. He just shit on everybody. This dude came in and was like, I got all these good receivers. I'm gonna do fucking terrible things to this league. And he just blew out. It was like when Tua was starting. Mac would have to come in and do dirty work and clean it all up. Just get out of there with the W. That's why Mac played so much as a younger guy. Yeah, I tend to follow. I actually, for some reason, on my timeline, because I really enjoy like following Eagles fans, because dude, Eagles fans have the most football optimistic minds, and I love Philadelphia fans, by the way. You guys are the greatest fans of all sports, mainly because you guys actually give a shit about your sports teams. It's a refreshing thing, and it's aggressive, and I like it. But anyway, regardless of the Eagles, dude, they're so fucking stupid. Some of them, it's like, my best tweet on Twitter is literally me going, I literally listed all of the free agents that like every single. Have a good night, Andre. Thanks for tuning in, my friend. I literally just listed all of the free agents and went, Howie, go get them. And they went, dude, we don't. And then I put dash every Eagles fan. And they went, God damn it, that is. And then every Eagles fan had to reflect and go, no, every free agent, every major trade deadline acquisition. I see thousands of Eagles fans post, go get them, Howie. Round them up, Howie. Like, all right, Howie, he's going to trade for Mahomes. He's going to trade for Hill. He's going to go get all the good players for nothing. It's like, how is he going to do that? He's going to trade picks, dude. You don't understand. Howie's a genius. And then when he doesn't do anything, they're like, this fucking idiot Howie, dude. It's like, I couldn't deal. I love the Eagles fans for that. They're like, come on, Howie, round them up. Go get all these players. Yeah, this is a great QB class. There's like 6 or 7 really good quarterbacks coming out. I know there's 3 immediately. This is not really the time to be going to war with a cap gun QB. No, hey, at least records. Now you have a better shot at getting one of those good quarterbacks this year if Hurts is really the guy you think he is. The main thing, Karam, about as long as they're not the ones that like are violent, they're all cool. What's up, Ven? Philadelphia fans are often probably the most misunderstood fans in sports. They just really care, and they just, it's Philadelphia. I really don't know what happened. Pennsylvania is a crazy place. Oh, okay. I got what you mean. Yeah, the quarterbacks in the NFL right now are crazy. And it's like. It really goes to show you how good even the backups are in the NFL, because it's like, could you imagine a guy like, I don't know, could you imagine what Case Keenum would do if he went and played in the XFL or the USFL? Do you think the team he would be on could ever lose? Like any other backups in the NFL, like second string, like bona fide second string guys. Guys like Matt Barkley, guys like Brian Hoyer, those kind of guys. You know what they would do if they went into the XFL? Oh, dude, it'd be a massacre what they'd do. Yeah, but NFL, yeah, we're in a golden age of quarterbacks, right? It's crazy how good the quarterbacks are right now. That even the backups are fucking insane, dude. Like, the backups right now would be starters in, like, any other era of football. Like if you take Case Keenum should be a starter. Like, it's crazy how good some of these guys are. Like Chad Henne, he'd go murder in a different football league. But they are. That's the thing, though, Ven. They all are amazing. Look how good they all are. Even good backups are just like, well, I guess I'm a backup. Oh, yeah. I would hate to be I would hate to play for Philly sports. KC fans are the worst in your... Oh, yeah, KC fans are awful. They're the worst people ever. The reason that people leave Kansas City, dude, they literally lost like one of the greatest safeties of like in the NFL in Tyrann Mathieu because they're a bunch of shitheads. He literally dipped out on them because they're a bunch of fucking assholes. And every KC fan's like, no, he just wanted to go home. Yeah, Cope Moore, Chiefs fans. He left because you guys suck ass. He was so fucking done with you guys. He was like, ugh. I'm so tired of getting death threats by these fucking people. From this entitled ass fan base that won nothing for 50 years till we showed up. Till I showed up. We were winning. You guys won nothing. And now you fucking gonna do this to me? Fuck you. Do you know what it would be like if if this Lions team or any iteration of a Lions team won a Super Bowl for them? Those motherfuckers are royalty till they leave Detroit. And even after they leave Detroit, they're just royalty. Yeah, literally, KC's just a garbage little franchise, dude. They're going to be bad again really quickly soon. They're just going to have, you're going to find out what Kansas City is and why they've been bad for so long. And you're going to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Terrible fans and a fucking piece of shit ownership. Got it. Now I get it. Yeah, yeah. I wish they actually tracked offensive line. At least center should get wins and losses added on. Kelsey, yeah, I mean, he's. Are you talking the tight end or the offensive lineman or both? Tight end, okay, and his brother too. I mean, he's got to be getting. I think he's slightly older than. Yeah, yeah, he plays yeah, and he's getting in what year 10 right now. When was he drafted? 2011. No, there's a there. It's hard to describe what Chiefs fan I'm talking about. But if Eric, I wish Eric was here because he knows exactly he even knows what part of his fan base I'm talking about when I talk about Chiefs fans. Yeah, dude. No, if you look up Tyrann Mathieu versus Chiefs fans, there's like a whole thing that happened. 2030. Yeah, he's getting 10 years already. This is 10 year. Oh, he's still got probably a few years left. Probably like 2 or 3 years. Not much. I mean, he might even decide to early retire, though. He strikes me as an early retire guy, Kelsey. Yeah, he might be done pretty soon then, actually. He doesn't strike me as a I'm playing until I'm like 40 guy. I don't see it. See, there's a subsect of Kansas City fans that are complete dumpster fire human beings. They have very low IQs in Missouri. And sometimes them people congregate. It's Missouri. You know, the fucking people down there suck. They congregate together and they smell bad, but none of them can smell because of inbred genetics. And then they show up and they go and root for the Chiefs, the goddamn Kansas City Royals. Ugh. If you ever meet somebody from St. Louis and they don't root for the Cardinals, run. Like if they're wearing Kansas City gear, get the fuck away from that person. They are unhinged. Dude, the Kansas City, it's the Kansas City Royals fans that are bandwagoners that also turn into bandwagon Fairweather Chiefs fans. But, they root for the Rams and the Cardinals when everything's going bad with Kansas City. But, they pretend like when Kansas City's doing good, they fucking hate St. Louis. And these KC fans, with their inbred ideologies and their backwoods fucking living, they're just brutal. They rig shit. They're dirty fans and shit. They throw shit at players, talk massive shit. They fucking talk shit to their own players. They send death threats to people. Literally death threats and, long letters of go fucking hurt, go do bad stuff to yourself. Dude, they're brutal. They just turn into monsters. And they're, for as bad as Kansas City teams are and have been, the second they show, a slimmer of being a good team, them people turn into the most entitled, we demand excellence fans. Think about how, entitled Chiefs fans think that they're always going to win the Super Bowl now. For 3 years now in a row, if you know Kansas City Chiefs fans, they think that they're in the Super Bowl automatically. They don't even think that they're not going to make this. It's literally I wonder who we're playing in the Super Bowl this year. To them, it's how many, what are we going to lose 2 games this year? Dude, they actually, they think they belong, they shouldn't even have to play the season. It's what's the word? It's ceremonial. They're just playing to play. But they're gonna be in the Super Bowl. Like to them, it's just pomp and circumstance to them. The regular season, it's like, well, put us just in the AFC Championship game where we belong. And you know what's fucked up? If you were a fan of that team and like you're a bandwagoner or like you're slightly new to football, all you've known is the Chiefs playing in the AFC title game. They never don't make it. So I understand the entitlement, but it's also like you guys got to remember the Chiefs were fucking dog shit for 50 straight years. Literally, they were in like the first or second Super Bowl, and then they just never showed back up. I don't think they won more than like 13 games ever again until Mahomes showed up. Literally, even with Smith, when they were doing good, they were winning like 10, 11 games a year, maybe 12 at most. Yeah, fans used to do the death threat shit's annoying. I think Tyreek will do just fine without Mahomes, in my opinion. Tyreek's skill is based on speed. Another one of the things that Tyreek brought to Patrick Mahomes as a young quarterback was is very inaccurate. Mahomes is very inaccurate as a passer, and that's not really a shot at Patrick like at all. But like he for the first couple of years, man, he just launched the fucking football down the field with no real regard for where it was going. But like, and if you'd watch Tyreek running, he'd be going like this, 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 like. He'd constantly have to look back and make adjustments because the ball was going in random directions. I don't, dude. I don't know. I think Tyreek's gonna I do think since Mahomes has adapted and learned how to play better quarterback, he doesn't really need Tyreek Hill anymore. I don't think Tyreek Hill needs any quarterback in particular. If you can get him the ball in any kind of capacity in any kind of open space, he's fucking gone, dude. Until his speed goes away, he's going to be a nuisance for whatever team he's playing against. Or whatever. It really doesn't depend on Tua. If Tua can get him the ball 10 yards down the field and he's somehow open on a fucking run across the middle of the field, what are you going to do? We've already seen what he does with those in Kansas City. He runs those in for touchdowns regularly. Also, by the way, do you know how many jet sweeps they're going to run? You know how many little fucking 1-yard passes they did with Tyreek Hill 2 years ago in Kansas City? You don't need to, dude. All he has to do is get the ball, and that's it. Yeah, I'm glad the Browns decided to ball up. I like what I'm seeing there. Yeah, the Browns were, dude. Browns were fucking terrible. But then all of a sudden they just went, we're not terrible anymore. And now they have this team. I even like that they signed Deshaun Watson. Again, I think it's going to be a bad mistake to have moved on from bad. Again, not a mistake to go get Deshaun Watson. We're not going to get into the other part of that. We're just going to speak from a purely football. How do I put this? Say next season when Deshaun's all unsuspended. I I don't think getting rid of Baker is a good idea though. Again, it's like this weird thing where I'm like, oh man, how do I word this right? Because I don't know how to explain it directly. I think the biggest issue with Baker Mayfield last season had less to do with like just play, and I think it had more so to do with like he should have been shut down due to injury like in week 4 when he tore his entire labrum off the bone almost. That dude was so hurt. Like he was like wearing like thick ass padding all over his body and shit. It's like, what kind of head coach doesn't shut him down? What kind of shit tier franchise is Cleveland where he was playing with the torn left shoulder, fucked up thigh, a fucked up knee, a fucked up. The dude was looking like a robot underneath his fucking jersey, and they were like, yeah, he's fine to play. How about be a real coach and go, nah, dude, you're going on the injured list for a very long time. You're only gonna hurt yourself. Yeah, you do Tua. Yeah, exactly. Tua Tyreek also opens up other guys like Jalen Waddle, who's also a really yeah Devontae Adams. Yep, it's a good thing to get him. The team that the Cowboys play. Game Debo killed them. Yeah, dude, it's one of them things. The short little plays. Yep, that's brutal. And guess where Kyle McDaniels is from, or Mike McDaniels from? Well, the new head coach, he's instituting his offense. It's the Shanahan offense, basically, with like some Mike McDaniel tweakers. So we'll see. Miami's biggest problem though is Tua. Like it's fun, as much as I've defended Tua this evening or gone after Tua and made comments about him. It's like, yeah, he's also like their biggest problem. Because if he's bad, they're not a good team. It's like as simple as one of those situations where it's like, yeah, he has a bad year. They're fucked. Miami? Wait, no, wait, what? Um, their offensive line's more the issue than the running backs because, like, I don't know. I feel like it's just a. I don't know. There are a lot of teams that don't really utilize the run, and they do just fine. I think blaming it on the run not being good is like, what about like teams that just don't run the ball really? What about the Bills? They didn't run for shit. They won. They won quite a bit. They almost like they were barely beating that playoff game technically. Like that's the way. That's always my argument. Is like, well, the Bills do just fine without a running game. Like, I mean, they're trying to fix it up, of course, but like, I don't know. I don't think you can blame a bad offense on the run game in 2022, unless your team is like a primary run team. Like if you're like the Patriots or the Colts or something, I would be like, yeah, you know what? Okay, I'll give you that. Or the 49ers, like those kind of teams. Yeah, I'll give you that. The run might have kind of fucked them up, but I don't really see the Dolphins as a primary run team. Maybe they are, and I'm wrong about that. No, I don't agree with that. Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah. That could actually slow them down too this year with Mike McDaniel offense. Okay, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, in that particular offense, yeah, you got to have some good running backs. Yeah, if they don't, yeah, actually, that's a good point. That's a fair point, Ben. Uh, yeah, if you don't got the running backs in a Mike McDaniel offense, your offense is probably not going to get going very good. But I also made the case, or have made the case a lot in the past that a lot of the thing that like gets Mike McDaniel like. I think you can plug in almost any running back into a Kyle Shanahan or Mike McDaniel offense, and they perform at like a cheat code level. If that makes, I don't know if that's actually true, but like it feels like it's true, right? Have you ever seen a 49ers running back like do bad? That's my argument. Like that's going to be my main argument. It's like, did those guys ever do bad? Yeah, it was a Trey Sermon. Like there's only been one example and he's just a bad running back. Like I don't know. Yeah, Moser's a good running back as well. So Miami should be all right. Isn't it? It's crazy to me. It's just like, man, the 49ers literally were just plugging in random dudes. Yeah, as long as he can stay healthy, but the odds of that are fucking really low. I don't know. The 49ers seem to be like really bad at like player management though. So I don't know if that's actually like a like for example, Kendrick Bourne was always getting hurt when he was on the 49ers, correct? Like that was like a regular thing with him, and that's part of the reason why they went and got Debo Samuel, who plays very similar, was because they're like, well, we can't really trust Kendrick. But then he goes to New England and plays 17 games despite being used more by the Patriots. So I'm like, whoa, that's weird. And then you have Hunter Henry, very like the exact same situation. Dude, Hunter Henry, we were literally laughed at for signing Hunter Henry to what we paid him because they're like, well, why the fuck did they just pay that super injury prone ass tight end? I mean, he's good, and we all knew he was going there. Why the fuck they pay him like that though? He never put. Oh, he just played all 17 games and had a career year. Oh, all right. He was used more than ever before in the past too. How in the fuck is that even possible? What are they doing in New England? It's all about like hydration, I think. I think the Patriots just take good care of their players compared to most teams in the league, I guess. I don't know what it is. You can send the most injury prone players to the Patriots and they never get hurt. Have you ever noticed how often, like, unless it's like a torn ACL with the Patriots or like a devastating season-ending injury, we don't sustain injuries on the Patriots. Think about it. Like, Brady never got hurt. No one ever gets hurt unless it's like a torn ACL because of a dirty hit. I don't know what they're doing. Like, they're cheating, I guess. They're even cheating injuries. I don't understand it. I've watched fucking guys trip on the grass and fuck their whole career up. The worst injury I've ever seen the Patriots have is the Bo Jackson injury to James White last year. That was awful. That literally ended my man's career. That was sad. I feel very, very, very bad for James White. Faces off on I don't even know if the Chargers will make the playoffs this year. Rams and Chargers. That's an interesting one. I've got the Bills and the Bucks. That's what I'm feeling right now. That's what it should be. And then Brady wins. And then I laugh at the Buffalo Bills fans because it's like, oh, the worst guy ever beat you too. Yeah, that's my hot take, I think, is that I don't see what the big deal with the Chargers is. So their defense got better. Okay. Is it even any better? J.C. Jackson, really good. And Khalil Mack's really good against the pass. I don't think that's as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be. I think good quarterbacks make offensive linemen a little better. We'll see. I mean, they clearly have, but we'll see how good the replacements are. Well, first, if I'm going to anoint a team as like the next big up team, can you tell me what the Chargers have done with Justin Herbert? What have they won? Like 13 total games, 14 total games in 2 years. That's crazy. So when I look at Justin Herbert, I see a guy who's a good young quarterback that puts up great numbers, but they have no impact on the game for whatever reason. Cool, Mac Jones is young too and made the playoffs last year. Yeah, because of Michael Strahan and Osai Umenyiora. Offensive line was very, very good those years for the Patriots. Michael fucking Strahan was a different animal, though. I don't know how you protect against it, Michael Strahan. But if you ever find out, let the Patriots know because they never figured that shit out, and no one in the NFL did. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I get it, man, but like our offensive line was very fucking good those years. And Osai Umenyiora, Justin Tuck, those guys were machines, dude. Especially with Michael Strahan needing like 12 blockers at once. It was bullshit, dude. Our offensive line was probably top 5 those years. So I don't know if you could say that you need to break. Yeah, I know we did. I mean, guess what? Fuck, we had a top 5 line, and that didn't even help. I don't think that's going to be the problem in Tampa, though. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe they're just going to be a bad football team, but I highly doubt that. They'll just change the offense and get rid of the ball really quickly, dude. Like, it's not that difficult for Brady. They'll just screen pass the shit out of everybody. You don't think they got the depth to screen pass everybody to fucking death? And then once everybody stops blitzing because they don't got an offensive line, then Brady just chucks it down the field and gets a PI like always. Is it? Yeah, I guess they're fucked, dude. They're going to lose every game this year. You're fighting me more on this weird Bucks take than you are on the fact that I said the Chargers aren't even a playoff team. That's crazy. You asked me like a very big hypothetical question with me not even having seen a single fucking like starter preseason game for these teams. And you're like, oh, did you know? Did you know? It's like, dude, I don't make predictions for this fucking exact reason until the season gets going. Because I hate when people do this to me. They're like, I want to hear your opinion. Well, I don't like sharing it until the season starts. Tell me now. Yeah, the Patriots did it for 20 years. I don't care about that. The Bucks can probably do it for a couple more years. They got a quarterback. Like it's just weird, man. I didn't need to get grilled on this pick. Like I haven't really even took in more than a week of the preseason, and most teams didn't play starters. I don't have like good predictions right now. I'm just going off what I'm feeling. Yeah, but like you like jumped on me about like fucking three interior. You're asking me about interior offensive linemen, like okay, because I fucking picked a simple, Yeah, I understand you're like picking knowing stuff beforehand and kind of looking into it, but it's like I don't, I gotta see the preseason play out before I make any like definitive picks. You know what I mean? I think I'm communicating this weird. Um, until I like see like full starters go, like my picks could change. It could turn into the Rams. Um, it could turn into a lot of different teams from now till September 8th. But right now, I just got that gut feeling. No, I know it's not beef. I'm just kind of in an argumentative mood. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to come off weird. It's too early in the season to be like, yeah, to be getting combative. I was surprised you didn't attack the Chargers take. Most people, dude, like, um, last week when I said I didn't think the Chargers were a playoff team, I got into like an hour, 50-minute long yelling match about that. Holy shit. That was crazy last week when I dropped my, you guys want a hot take? And I was all sweaty and shit like I am right now before I even said the take. And it's like, uh-oh. I even said in my Discord, I was like, I got a scorching hot take that's going to make a lot of people mad. And everyone's like, I wonder what it's going to be. And then everybody was like, holy shit, I didn't expect that one. But yeah, that's my hot take is I don't really think the Chargers are going to make, I think they're going to miss the playoffs again. Maybe I'm wrong, but like until Herbert's numbers start impacting football games, I don't really feel threatened by them. Fair enough, fair enough. I wish the game was in Denver on Saturday instead of Buffalo, so I could go. Oh, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Did you go to the first preseason game? I think the Chargers get a lot closer to the playoffs. Maybe they don't get it. No, I think the smart take would be that they get in. That's probably the better take. I would say I'm having a scorching hot take by saying the Chargers aren't making it. They see it's tough, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers don't make it. Dude, there's 13 teams. We were going over this. Let's go over the actual teams, right? You know what's easier? Let's go over the teams that won't make the playoffs in the AFC. The Texans, Chargers, or Texans, Jets, and Jaguars. That's it. Those are the only three teams where you could definitively look at them and go, yeah, you guys aren't making it. But everybody else, the door's open. 13 of you, if you guys can find whatever 70 of you can fit through that door, get to make it. That's basically the AFC playoff picture is 13 teams and maybe 14 if the Jets aren't shitty. Yeah, Browns will be, but they're like other than quarterback, they're too good to not be considered a playoff contender. Even with the bad quarterback situation, I feel like they should contend for the playoffs. What is Autocon draft? I don't know. I just do normal. I don't know too much. You can Google that. I don't have anything to tell you about that. I don't know what Acton or Octon. Do you mean auction? I don't know. Probably costs money. I don't fucking know. Uh, I gotta read a few things. I have them going through, and I think Denver is gonna fail. Yeah, Denver probably could too as well. I'm not too high on them either, but I don't know. Auction draft? Yeah, I don't. I'm not too sure. I don't really do fantasy that in depth. I was looking at the Bills schedule, and honestly, we have a pretty hard one. Yeah, you guys have a first place schedule this year. The Patriots, Jets, Bills, and fucking Dolphins all got hard schedules this year. We play the NFC North though, so it's kind of a cupcake in terms of that. This is going to be a bloodbath from week one onward. Oh yeah, the AFC West is going to be awesome to watch. It's going to be hard in that division. Four really good quarterbacks in one division. Yes. I need to see a masterclass. Yeah, I mean, the Jets could really start 0-7 next year, though, even with Zach Wilson. The Bills probably need to win 12, 13 games to win that division next year. Again, the Patriots could have won 14 last year if it was 6 games and again, the Patriots, like 3 or 4 losses for the Patriots last year, at least 100% 3 of them were by a combined 6 points. Remember, the Patriots aren't like they're really close. Like they could have won the division with like a 6 point swing and and like 2 points in each of those games. So you just remember that. And that's a rookie team, a rookie quarterback. Games go a little different with veterans. That's all I'm saying. The Bills need to win a lot of games. There's actually going to be pressure on the Bills next year as well. I'm curious to see how Buffalo does with actual pressure around them now. Nah, the Steelers aren't better than the Browns. Yeah, Derwin James got a massive extension, makes him the highest paid safety. Yeah, GG. You guys got lucky. Soto wasn't available to pitch tonight. What games am I doing tomorrow? I don't know. Yeah, what was the total terms of that contract? Yeah, it was a 4-year, $76.5 million contract for a guy who's often injured. Kind of feels like an overpay to the fact that I think he's only played in one full season, but he's really good when he's on the field. I mean, it's one of the weirdest situations where it's like, yeah, we probably paid it. It's probably right to pay him that money. Because when he's able to play, he's probably one of the best at his position, if not the best safety in the NFL when he's available to play. He's way up there. It's like, he's literally so fucking good. He's like a ball hawk. He hits the shit out of everybody. Like I struggle to find a better safety. Like maybe Minka Fitzpatrick, maybe. I'd take fucking Derwin before I took Minka though, and that's not even trying to shit on the guy. We won more than last year. You guys won more games because the Browns didn't have a quarterback situation last year. How is saying the Browns are a better team than the Steelers right now betting against what? The fuck are you even saying, dude? The Browns are literally considered one of the most talented rosters in the NFL right now. I know you don't like hearing that as a Steelers fan and you're very biased, so you can't see past the bias, but like, what are you talking about, dude? You're like the only person here who thinks the Browns have a shitty roster. I'd have them in the Super Bowl if they had Watson at quarterback. I'm not even going to bullshit you, dude. Like, maybe at you got better wide receivers. I'll give you that. But the Browns' offensive line is way better than yours. The Browns' defensive line runs circles around yours. I'll take the Browns' secondary compared to yours. Maybe you got a better linebacker when TJ plays linebacker and not D-line. But, like, you got TJ on the line, but, like, Browns got more than that. They got Garrett. They got they got another guy. You guys don't have a quarterback yet. I'd take Watson after a year off compared to Piquet or fucking Mitch Trubisky. Do you think if Watson was to play from the start of the year that Mitch Trubisky would honestly have a better season than him? You do realize your team's like rebuilding, right? Like you do realize you don't have Big Ben to bail your team out of fucking bad situations anymore, right? Yeah, Kareem Hunt denied the trade request. Yeah, the Browns went, fuck you. That's my favorite move of the offseason, by the way. The Browns literally looking at Kareem Hunt and going, we're not going to fucking trade you after we took all that shit for taking you in, right? You can wait till the season ends to get a contract. Go fuck yourself. I'm glad the Browns did that. That's fucking showing, like, no. Just going, no, we're not going to trade you, dude. We're not going to do that. Why? Man, because we took you in when no one else wanted you. You either sign here long term or we're just going to let you sit there. Think we give a fuck? Good. Even though I think they actually should trade that dude. You don't have a quarterback. And you lost like three guys on your offensive line. What do you mean you're not This is more than a rebuild. This is a rebuild. Dude, losing your quarterback is a rebuild. Like, you don't even like what you're gonna start Mitch Trubisky for the rest of his like. You think Mitch Trubisky's a long-term answer at quarterback, or do you think he's a just get through this season quarterback because this is a bad year coming up for us? Let's just try to win 8 or 9 games and see if we can do that. Fingers crossed. Like, I'm not trying to shit. Like, dude, it's just like, and it's not even shitting on your team's been one of the most consistently good football teams for almost as long as the Patriots were. But like, dude, there might be a bad year this year. You might have a dip year. Like when the Patriots only won 7 games. No, I don't mean retool. I mean rebuild. They got to rebuild the team. They don't have a quarterback anymore. They don't have an offensive line anymore. Their defense is getting old. No, they have to rebuild. No, it wouldn't. Not when you're rebuilding your team. No, this isn't a retool. I'm sorry, but like your defense is old. Your offensive line, whatever's left of it, is old. You don't have a quarterback anymore. What are you talking about? Like, what do you think? You're still a playoff team? Like seriously, do you think you're actually like just like a borderline playoff team with what that team looks like right now? Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. No, I never said that. When did I say that? No, they didn't. No, I have them like 8, 9 wins, somewhere in that range. I don't even have them as a bad team. I'm just saying it's going to might be not be the best year for the Steelers. This might be an off year. It's like our dip year, the Patriots, when we went 7-9, dude. It's not even like I'm trying to be mean or shit on you. I think Tomlin will have you guys around quick, right? Like very, very quickly. No, I don't think Trubisky's even like a bad like option, but I don't know if the Steelers have the offensive line for him, and I don't know if there's like a few things missing there where I'm very curious because like they've had guys like Marquise Pouncey there for forever, and it's like he's gone now, and I'm like, oh boy, like a lot of guys left, and I'm like, I don't like when that happens at all. I've seen that happen in New England, and that was fucking ugly for a year. I'm only saying that from like personal experience. When you lose a very long-term quarterback, that first year after, dude, is really weird. Like we had Cam Newton out there and shit, thinking we were gonna revitalize Cam, and just don't get caught sticking up for Mitch too hard like we did with Cam. All right, just you know, don't defend like 6 touchdown passes like we were trying. Hey, he ran for 12, so it was technically 20 total touchdowns, not just 8 passing. Like, don't get caught doing that, like Patriots fans. You know how hard it was to defend that horse shit, dude? Having to bring up that he ran for 12 touchdowns every time somebody brought up that he only threw for like 8. I'm like, yeah, but he threw for 12. Or he ran for 12, so that's like technically 20 total. And that's a respectable season. Matt comes in as a rookie and throws like 32 or like 23 touchdown passes. It's like, fuck. All right, well, yeah, that's bad. Max sucked. Cam sucked. Yeah, I think you guys will be up above 7 wins. Yeah, 100%. I think I've had you guys at 8 to 9 all off season. I mean, Najee will be all right, and he'll be a big bright star for you guys this season. Like, you guys won't be bad. I just don't know if you're a playoff. Like, it's gonna be a rough run for you guys. It's like us. I don't even think the Patriots are a playoff team this year, but I don't think we're making it. We are a team that could contend, but 8, you think 8? Yeah, I don't see. The hardest thing is predicting the fucking Steelers to not be 500 because it's like they've never done that under Tomlin. They've never had that bad of a record. So it's like it's hard to predict the Steelers to not win 9 games. Like it's almost like I'm like dude, they always win more than they lose. I don't has Tomlin ever had a 500 season? Maybe one 500 season? Yeah, dude, Malcolm Butler got hurt. Jojuan Williams got hurt. We lost 2 corners today. Marcus Jones is 100% being a starter this year. Glad we drafted that kid. So is Bledsoe. You're going to meet our replacements real quick. Josh Bledsoe and Marcus Jones and probably Jack Jones a little bit. Jack Jones is coming along a lot slower than Marcus, though. What happened with Marcus Jones? What am I missing? He's really fucking good to have been a 4th-round pick. What happened? Did he do some shit off the field? Did he get in a fight or something? Just of Watson being there and losing. No, my thing with the Browns is like, dude, they're a loaded football team. That's all. Like they just have so much, like they're so talented. It even has less to do with Watson. I think like if Baker wasn't fucking destroyed last year, they'd have been a way better team than what they wound up being. But yeah, I'm very excited about a few things with the Patriots. But yeah. What happened? Why wasn't Marcus? Was he too short? Is that one of the things too? He's a little guy, but like, you know. Yeah, no, I understand being sick. I mean, they're your rival, too. I understand it, dude. I'm fucking sick of the Jet. I'm sick of the Dolphins. I'm fucking so tired of hearing about Miami for them to just not do anything again. Like, at least the Bills are winning playoff games. Shit, beating us in the play. It's like, all right, I can't really complain much there. The Bills deserve all the praise they're getting. That's a good young team, but got to win a Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't put the Browns' struggles on Baker. That's fucking poor coaching last year that did him in. More than anything else, bad coaching. I hope Stefanski learned a lesson last season about not letting your fucking team just decide their health conditions. Like, hey, dude, maybe you should have interfered with Baker deciding to do what he was doing. Yeah, I don't know what happened with Freddie Kitchens. Like, he was like the greatest interim head coach for the Browns. And then, like, he got a chance at head coach and was just fucking terrible. That might have been one of the most precipitous drops from, like, being a good coach to not being a good coach. It was just like, boom. Like, what happened? How did you go from good to bad so quickly, Freddie? What the fuck was that? For the Pats during the COVID season and failed until Belichick retires. Jets will stay. Yep, 100%. And the worst thing that would happen is if Belichick passes off a very good-looking, young, capable Patriots team to the next coach. Could you imagine if Belichick retires after he wins the Super Bowl and just gives away a Super Bowl team to somebody? That could be a problem. That would be a real fucking problem. Plus, like, Jonathan Kraft is basically, is the same as his dad philosophy-wise on everything. So, good. And he's getting the team. Like, Jonathan Kraft will be the future owner of the Patriots. So, I don't know. We're in good hands when old man Kraft, I don't even want to think about that. The fucking dude's done so much for that team. I just hope they can get another Super Bowl for Mr. Kraft. Well deserved if he gets another one. So what a fucking piece of shit is just like getting emotional that he only. It's like, hey, Rob, you guys got 6 Super Bowls in the last 20 years, right? You don't need any more. No, Mr. Kraft deserves one final one before we, I mean, I will say Cleveland did say that Kitchens wasn't going to be a good coach. No, Jerry Jones is garbage. No offense, Kareem. I don't know what happened with him. He's a great example of the complete polar opposite of what happened with winning as an owner, right? There's 2 extremes. You can go the egomaniacal route where the worst tendencies of you being a billionaire become like 20-fold, and your ego, your fucking God complex, your narcissism, your all the weird traits that a billionaires have. Like, dude, they all got weird fucking problems. They ride that ephemeral line between fucking batshit insane and genius, harder than any human being on the planet. And so that part of them can come out. The fuck, whatever you see Jerry Jones as, that is one outcome of a crazy level of immediate success when you buy a team and just start succeeding, winning 3 Super Bowls, all of that crazy shit that Jerry went through. But now you see the drawbacks of a thing like that, right? He's fucking, people are kind of don't want to play there. There's people afraid to speak against him. It's, people don't like to question his moves. He's so sure about every single thing that he doesn't take into consideration other people. Maybe he does now as he's starting to see his like ideas are starting to, not the strongest. But then you have to look at like Robert Kraft. He's won. He came in and bought the Patriots and immediately started winning down the, with Brady and Bill, and that whole thing immediately took off. They won them first 3 Super Bowls, and he didn't. And he's, it's like, hey, this is, Bill's doing the thing. I just kind of run the. I just, he's pretty hands off as an owner, and now he has 6 Super Bowls to show for it. He's increased the value of his team by probably, I don't know. It's like one of the most valuable franchises in North American sports, or at least in football, it's like number 2. And in the world, we looked it up. I think it was like it's very high up there. It's like, oh shit, and that's all under Robert Kraft. That got that massive growth of the team, and so it's like, I don't know. Like, there's the 2 sides to being an owner. You have Kraft, and then you have Jerry Jones. Patriots, Steelers, 49ers are like the 3 historical teams with the most playoff wins. I'd put Dallas up. They're all right, too. Right, you guys are at like 36, we're at 35, something like that. Who do you think is the best football GM? Fuck, Ozzie Newsome was the best GM in football, but he retired. Um, Andrew Barry's really good in Cleveland. I hate to say that, but Andrew Barry's really fucking good. I won't say what team he plays for, GMs for. Um, Jason Light of the Tampa Bay Bucks is also very, very fucking good at what he does. Um, Will Snead or Les Snead, whatever the fuck his name is for the Rams, is really, really, really good as well. Um, and I think Brad Holmes for the Lions is really good as well. And Bean for the Bills. Bean for the Bills, too. So those guys, and I can't decide from those guys. And I'll throw Bill Belichick up there as well. Josh Allen's going to pull some Tanya Harding shit on Mahomes coming out of the tunnel in 24 if Mahomes pulls out another magic wand. Now, see, here's the thing with the way the Bills can improve their playoff odds is literally just learning what time of possession is and how to fucking dominate it. The biggest difference for me for the Chiefs this year was they seem to understand finally what time of possession is. And to me, they're scarier now. Like, I'm more afraid of Patrick Mahomes this season than any other season that I would have ever been. Because, like, by the end of last year, that dude totally understood what check down offense meant, how it was better than a long play, big play offense. He totally was comfortable throwing it short, intermediate passes, and just holding the ball for like 8, 9, 10 minutes a quarter. That's scary if he plays like that. Because they know they'll score. They could score at any minute, any second of the game, really. The Chiefs actually scare me more as Mahomes gets better and understands the game more and learns to read defenses better and better and better. Yeah, I mean, dude, for a guy that literally in 2000 when he first came into the league did not know how to read a defense whatsoever. And by the way, I was the only person who called that shit out. Like, I was literally the only person. I don't think, and you know how much shit I got? Do you know how much shit I motherfucking got from that? When I was like, dude, I don't think Mahomes. I literally watched the first Mahomes game I ever seen. I watched him do a couple things, and I went, he doesn't know what he's looking at. And then and at the start of the next season, after he won MVP, he's like, "Yeah, I can't read defenses yet, or I could barely, I was barely figuring out what they were showing me." Do you guys remember when he said that? And and everybody went, "Son of a bitch, Rob isn't just a hater." And everyone was just calling me a fucking hater all off the whole season long. They're like, Rob's just a hater. He's jealous his team doesn't have Mahomes. He says Mahomes can't read a defense. What a fucking stupid take. Do you guys remember me having to battle people like that? I was like, no, he literally can't. Look at the way he plays football. He doesn't know what he's doing out there. They just don't know how to defend him. I was right. I've been so right. I've almost every take on Mahomes that I've ever had has been 100% correct. Everyone always just assumes I'm talking shit, and then they hear Mahomes say the exact same thing I've ever said. Like the things he wants to improve on are the same things that I critique hard about him. And everyone goes, what? How did Rob know that he wanted? It's like, dude, I watch football. I know when a guy's just out there going, you can read their face. This dude's eyes just locked onto whatever receiver was going. He's like, they're not going to get this motherfucking ball. Watch this. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. He's a young guy. He's a very young quarterback with extreme talent. I'm glad they fucking got him figured out and got him working correctly. I'm like, again, I've never actually been a Mahomes hater. It's been one of the biggest misconceptions of my career. I just like to play into it because it's funny at this point, because I have such a perception of being a guy who doesn't like that dude. It's like, no, all I've done is the same thing I do with everybody is, well, I mean, yeah, he's good, but like there's some things he needs to improve. It's like Mac Jones. I wish he was a little bit more confident with his passing, because he's a lot better passer than he thinks he is. He has a couple moments where he hesitates on the throw, and that bothers the fuck out of me. It's like, dude, just throw it into the coverage. You can throw a 50-50 ball here, Mac. Holy shit. Like, he will not throw to a covered receiver. It's like, no, Mac, you gotta throw to him. Like, it's single coverage. Just throw the ball at him. He's a 50-50 guy. Holy shit. If he doesn't do that with Devontae Parker, we'll never see Devontae Parker get called. That's my biggest complaint about Mac, is he holds the football. He literally does not like throwing to covered receivers. And it's like, dude, you got to do that sometimes in the NFL. Especially guys like Devontae Parker. Just throw it up. He jumps for it. Oh. Why demand to smoke the right quarterback? He has enough velocity and varied release points to break traditional rules and not. Yep. I like that about Mahomes. He's got a great arm, but again, there's some other things. Like, he's a rare example of, despite the talent, he's willing to put the effort in to learn. So, but guys like him are very rare with his talent level, though. You know that too. But again, I don't know. Patrick had a weird rise to being who he is. So I don't know. If Hill numbers go up this year because he did. No, I don't think he puts up the same numbers. With Tua, I think his numbers are going to struggle because the Dolphins actually have a lot better wide receivers than just, I'll be honest. Oftentimes Mahomes literally just had Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and that was it. Like, that was all he was working with, and that's all you need. And I guess Mecole Hardman isn't bad, but like outside of those three, he didn't have much to work with. And I'll always back the Chiefs fans up on this. Their receivers fucking suck outside of like two of them, and Mecole Hardman's good too. But I have my own like weird issues with the I don't know. And like with Jalen Waddle there to eat up throws and Mike Gesicki there to eat up throws, I wonder if Tua's numbers go a little bit. Yeah, especially in a Josh McDaniels offense, 100%. Well, I don't know. McDaniels really fucking killed the shit out of it when he had Brady and Moss. No, wait, was he there for that year? Or was that Bill O'Brien's first year as the OC? Is he in Denver by then? God, dude, I wish I was a little older back in 2007 because I'd have like a much clearer memory of that season. I'd only been watching football for 3 years at that point, so fucking, it's fucking brutal. No, I know Carr isn't Brady. No, but like Carr's slightly above max ability right now. And Max, well, see, the biggest problem with the Patriots last year is McDaniels couldn't run a 2 tight end offense, and he's going to try and do that in Oakland, or well, Las Vegas anyway. I don't know how well that's going to work. Like the two tight end system with Bill Belichick is already looking way better than it did with Josh McDaniels ever. Like it looks like the number one target for Mac this entire camp has been Jonnu Smith, for example, because Jonnu Smith is getting open. He's in good spots. He's starting to understand like the gadgetry of the offense, and the fact that Bill Belichick always does 2 tight ends. So instead of a fullback, he does 2 tight ends now. That's his like base formation. Yeah, it's weird. The Patriots ditched the tight end or the fullback officially this offseason. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, Patriots will no longer use a fullback. They're going 2 tight end system now from now on. That's because it's Bill Belichick's offense, 2 tight ends. They had probably one of the best fullbacks in the NFL too, which is crazy. Outside of maybe San Francisco with Kyle Juszczyk. Or Juszczyk, or however the fuck you say his name. I always say Juszczyk because I'm like, I don't know how to say that. And I always see it pronounced and like said in different ways. I'm like, I don't know. It's a name. Oh wow, it's only almost been 2 hours. Carr is a perfectly rated quarterback. Yeah, he was underrated for a while, but I think he's finally getting the attention he deserves. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Dolphins' biggest problem is they lacked big play capability last year, just because they can't throw it deep. We'll see if McDaniel's offense changes things for him. So you just kind of had to be patient with Miami. Wait for them to just keep close and hope their defense didn't fucking destroy you. Again, I think a big problem comes for Miami though this year. I think part of the reason why their defense is so good was not so much just like individual players, but I think it had a lot to do with Brian Flores. And I don't know. We'll see with Carr. There's no more. You can't make any more excuses for him though. If he doesn't put his team up to like a good playoff team this year, it's like, all right, you can have all the decent individual season records you want, Derek, but like your numbers do nothing to impact this team. Like, yeah, you're a very efficient quarterback. Your efficiency is doing nothing to help us win. He's a great example of a guy who puts no impact on the game, Derek Carr. And that's what I'm seeing out of Justin Herbert, by the way. Like, Justin Herbert's a great, like, he puts up great numbers, but it's like, dude, them numbers are doing nothing to help your team win. How is that even possible? Like, it's like they're very unimpactful, like, touchdowns and shit or something. It's like, what are you doing? Like, scoring like 3 a game in like garbage time or something? How are you not a playoff team with this much talent? Well, I mean, I actually think the Raiders have a few problems. I think Raiders fans are actually the most like want to move on from Carr out of anybody. Well, no, actually, there's a reason they stand behind Carr is because he's not that bad. They watch every game that he plays in. They're like, he's not the problem. There's other things on this team that need to be fixed before Derek. And if you watch enough of the Raiders, you'll quickly, like I have, like first, I don't even know how that's possible. Like I've seen a lot of their games. It's not Derek Carr why they're losing games. It's not. Their defense has just been fucking awful. And I really do think like a big reason why they were losing games was John Gruden coaching. And the big problem for me with John Gruden was the game passed him by. No, Gruden was the problem. He was why they would start hot and then lose every single game after week 6. The game passed him, dude. He should have never came back. Baker's going to be exposed this year too. Cleveland gave his ass a Super Bowl contender of a restaurant both sides. Yeah, it's hard to excuse last year, but like they really should have sat his ass when he tore his labrum last year because it fucking ruined his reputation. Yeah, I wouldn't trust Josh McDaniels either. It's hard to trust that snaky motherfucker. for anybody but New England. If he was the coach of the Patriots, no one would. They'd be like, "Oh fuck, Josh McDaniels finally got the job he wants." But again, I wouldn't. I don't know why anyone even signed him. I wouldn't have fucking let him come anywhere near my building. I'd be like, "Fuck that guy." No, he'll be welcome back with open arms. Fucking dipshit team that we are. Come on back in, buddy. Come on back in, Josh. Dude, we're retarded though. We take back everybody. Belichick's got like a 5. Dude, Belichick's the most loyal fucking dude ever on the planet, it seems like. No, I can't. No, records. I'm not even saying like I'm just saying he's not a bad quarterback like you're saying. He doesn't suck. He just yeah, I don't think so. I see a lot of rivers in him where it's just like, yeah, it's just I don't see it. I'd be pretty shocked if he won. Like, I can imagine Burrow winning a Super Bowl with the Bengals before I could imagine Carr winning a Super Bowl with any team. That's not a shot at Carr. It's just It's just something about that. It just doesn't ring true. Yeah, like I can imagine Burrow on a number of bad teams winning Super Bowls. Like it's like, all right, yeah, that kid's winning a Super Bowl. It's unless an injury just derails his life. Am I forgetting any like major super news that like is like important? I don't think so. Oh, Zach Wilson had a torn ace. He'll be back by like. See, he could come back in week 1. Apparently, the surgery went really well for Zach Wilson. It turned out it was a very clean tear, so they should be. He could play week 1 even, which I don't think they should do that, but like. He could be cleared by week 1. So that's good. So it's going to happen, Steelers Nation. The Bengals probably are never going to lose again. They're going to be monsters to deal with. Belichick, just like Thanos, you cannot live with your own failures. Where that bring you back to me? Oh, 100%, yeah. And I think Belichick has like a open door policy with former staff. Because he doesn't feel any kind of way about guys wanting to go out and try and coach. He's like, hey, man, more power to you, dude. Good luck. I think that he tells them that they have a job waiting if it doesn't work out. Yeah, I was very happy to see him. Yep. Oh, yeah, under records. Because I root for the Lions as well. I kind of have, they're like my second little team I like. And one of the prevailing things I've always tried to tell Stafford haters and people who said he sucked, I was like, you do realize if he was on any other team, he'd have multiple Super Bowl wins, right? And they're like, no, he wouldn't. And on the very first year, this motherfucker goes to a real team. He wins the Super Bowl. Do you know how many people have sent me message like finally came to me and went, yeah, you're probably right. He probably wins multiple Super Bowls off Detroit. Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, he was projected to be an all-time great when he was 18 years old. Yeah, Odell, that was the dumbest shit. It's like, guys, something isn't working in Cleveland. I don't think Stefanski knows how to use 2 receivers. See the Minnesota Vikings and see how quickly things fell apart when they got Justin Jefferson and Diggs and Adam Thielen. Diggs couldn't take not getting this. Like Diggs freaked the fuck out when he was in Minnesota and like had a diva-esque meltdown. It was. Hey, Odell and Baker made up. They're good now. I just don't think Stefanski understands how to utilize 2 good wide receivers in one offense. I don't think he understands how to deal with it. We've seen he had same problems in Minnesota when he was dealing with Diggs. Now the same problem he had with Odell. It's something happens in his brain where he just fucking forgets or something. It's like, dude, you're way too good of an offensive play caller to not know how to use 2 wide receivers. It was Odell. That makes sense. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's like the same fucking issue with Stefanski. Like, consistently. He can only use 1 receiver at a time that's really good. Because you give him more than that, he fucking short circuits and one freaks out and leaves. And I don't really know why that is with Stefanski. But yeah, people really thought Odell was done. I was like, guys, he's not done. It's a bad scheme fit. Again, I think that was actually more of the problem than anything. It was just a very, very bad scheme fit. Landry, oh yeah, he's gonna be fine. Yeah, he's gonna do great in New Orleans, and he's home too and shit, so he's probably all happy. A lot of those guys. Well, I thought Odell was going to the Saints for a minute. I was like, they're all gonna just fucking go to New Orleans, aren't they? This sucks. All the Louisiana players are going home. This is bullshit. Isn't it crazy? They got like 4 dudes in the NFL out of that state right now. Maybe even more than that. Maybe 5, 6. No, they don't. Don't look into what their owners were caught up in a couple years ago. They were involved with some real scandalous Catholic Church stuff. That's all I'm going to really say about that family. But if you look up what was going on, if you look up Saints, Catholic Church. What's up, Trey? Trey knows about it. Yeah, Trey. Isn't there something going on? There's something with the Saints where they covered some real foul shit up, and it's not fun to go into. But yeah, they covered some shit up, and they're not exactly an organization that deserves any love. Plus, they were doing bounties on people and shit. Oh, I mean, yeah, they got a good GM. They know how to use money correctly, and they're not cheap. Yeah, I like that. I like that about New Orleans. They give all the money away basically back to the players. But again, I think they have to do that so guys will actually play there for what happened. Dude, literally, all they do is cry about everything. Like, they're the biggest fucking dipshits. Yeah, they were covering up man-boy love, which is horrendous. That's the best way you can put that without, this video is going to be reviewed by YouTube, and I can't be saying certain foul-ass shit. I don't want to lose my channel altogether. I think Kirk Cousins is underrated. I know Yeah, Carson Wentz is criminally underrated, and Kirk Cousins, I think, is accurate. Carson Wentz's biggest issue is that, like, and and it's actually something that's somewhat fixable, right, with Wentz, because like Wentz's biggest mistakes when he plays football is when he thinks he has to put like a franchise on his back and like be the hero. If he can break that, he's actually a good like his numbers not playing hero. I wish they could separate the two stats: dipshit playing hero ball and Carson Wentz playing quarterback, because there's 2 different guys there. There's the hero, and then there's Carson Wentz playing quarterback, which isn't bad at all. Like, he's actually like would be good if he can break the hero ball bullshit. Yeah, that's the biggest problem with him. Then there's Bounty Gate, the owner paid players. Yeah, exactly, Trey. Exactly, it was brutal. I mean, he deserved more than 1 ring. It's just the Saints are cursed, probably. And if there's any coach that can break him of that habit, it's going to be Ron Rivera. This is it for him. If Ron Rivera can't break him of this habit, then no one will probably break him. What's up, Spider? I don't think it's actually fixable if Rivera can't get him to stop doing it. The thing is, yeah, it's not. It's literally Wentz has one major glaring issue that's fixable, and where I look at Kirk Cousins, it's like that guy just plays bad against good teams for the most part. I don't know. Oh, I understand that. Yeah, no, under records. Yeah, no, his numbers are good. It's just he has weird moments where he also like fumbles the ball away, or he'll sprain both of his ankles on one play. It's just a lot of dumb shit that bothers me about Carson. I never would say he has bad stats. Trust me, I'm a Wentz defender on this channel. I'm one of the probably very few people that still try to defend the guy. And I'm like, guys, there's more to the story than what you're telling me. Like, and again, Indy was not a great team last year. They were carried by Taylor and Wentz all fucking season long. And I hate Colts fans. They act like it was all Jonathan Taylor. They act like Jonathan Taylor rushed for 500 touchdowns last year and should have won MVP. I'm sorry. Running backs don't win MVP. The fuck good. You guys didn't make the playoffs. Maybe if he ran your team into the playoffs, he'd have a point. But like they missed the playoffs and lost to the Jaguars to not get in. Some MVP at running back. What happened to him? Yeah, Colts have a good run blocking line, not pass blocking. Wreck-It Ralph can't pass block. That's Quentin Nelson. He's not the best pass blocker. Great run blocker, unstoppable, but he's no Cole Strange in terms of pass blocking. That's for certain. The Colts aren't as good a team as people think. Like I don't understand. Like the Colts have no real good wide receivers. They have a they have a pretty good run blocking line. What am I missing? What else is good about the Colts? Like a good player at each position on defense. They have one good corner, a good safety, a good linebacker, and a good defensive lineman. I don't know. Carson shows solid improvement. I have to blow my nose really quick. My shit's bothering me. I've been talking for 2 straight hours. All right, I'm back. Go for like another 10 minutes or so. No, Washington will 100%. Yeah, they got better. They got like they're better at receiver this year. Bozo. Yeah, they shit the bed keeping Nick Foles over Carson Wentz. What a mismanagement of a decision that was. Yeah, we also own the Colts generally. I think last year was the first year that they beat us in a very long time. Fucking bitches. They also let fucking Wentz go. They got rid of both of them. didn't they? Didn't they got rid of both of them? Didn't they? Oh yeah, they got rid of Foles, and then they let Wentz go the year later. It's not like they kept fucking Wentz. Oh. Yeah, but they did get rid of Foles right away, which is, in my opinion, the right move. All right, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna start to wrap this up. I don't like when those fucking bullshit ass things start showing up. It means I've been live for too long. Yeah, I mean he left, and they got rid of him. Yeah, I mean I fucking would have. I wouldn't have wanted to play for that fucking team. Yeah, I'm gonna start to wrap up, guys. I'm just getting tired. I didn't realize it was 12:30 when I got up, and I was like, what the fuck? It's been 2 hours and 10 minutes. Plus, like, my mood just changed bad because of that. I'm like, I'm tired now. We'll put a fork in it, and we can always talk tomorrow night, because tomorrow night, let's go over what the plan for the streams are. We have some games coming up this weekend, actually. Preseason week 2. So tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football, we have the Bears and Seahawks, absolute barn burner. You too, Records. You have a good night, my friend. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. We'll be live tomorrow as well with just kind of like we kind of like put the game on and talk about it in the background. Or the Jags. Have a good night, Trey. Have a good night, Ven. Nathan, you too. And then this weekend we'll be doing the Friday game of the Patriots versus the Panthers. That's 7 o'clock. That's the only one I'm doing that one. Yeah, I have Seattle winning as well. Until Chicago, Chicago won that first one, but I like the way Seattle played against the Steelers. This Saturday I'm going to do, it'll be the Colts and obviously Lions and Colts game. And then I was thinking about doing one of these later games, but then again, it's also like I don't want to do what I did last weekend and tire myself out by doing a game I don't really care about. So I don't know about if I'll do any of these. And then on Sunday I'll just pick one of these random games, probably the 8 o'clock game, because I want to see this game. Even though Lamar's not going to play, the Ravens don't like losing in the preseason, and the Cardinals seem like a preseason try-hard team. So we'll watch that one. And then we'll watch a little bit of Monday Night Football. But, Jets and Falcons doesn't really scream must-watch football. All right. Well, that's about that, guys. I'm going to get out of here. I'm pretty fucking beat. My mouth hurts from talking so much. Mouth is really dry. That's the worst. Ugh. I gotta remember to drink more water. All right, I'm out of here. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your night. Go Lions, go Tigers, go Patriots. That was the NFL Weekly News Show, where it was a rough football news stream and kind of just talking football, basically. But it's basically, this is the most consistent thing I've done on this channel for the majority of it. So, all right, I'll see you guys tomorrow or over the weekend for a slew of games, or I'll see you on Sunday. I don't know when we'll fucking do that. I'll see you probably this weekend, though, no matter what. All right, I'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of your night. Go Lions, go Tigers, go Patriots, and sleep tight, or whenever you want.